Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, if I could, our town supervisor in 1996 and 97, Steve Hopkins, he passed away, and I'd like a moment of silence for him. Thank you very much. I worked for his daddy. High school.
Well, he also was mayor. I served under him as mayor. He was mayor, and he was also fire chief.
He was busy. He gave a lot to Goshen.
So I'm going to make a motion to open the town board meeting, April 11, 2024. Can I have somebody second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is the public hearing, 833 Pulaski Highway Goshen Solar Special Permit Application. The application, Pulaski Highway Solar 1 LLC, proposes to amend its special permit with purposes which proposes a 1.65 megawatt solar facility to a 2.5 megawatt solar facility.
So Supervisor, good evening, Alexander, partner at Cuddy and Fader, here on behalf of the applicant. So I heard you had a question, so
Yeah, no.
I'll see if I can address
It's
it.
just a clarification.
Sure.
So the amended resolution that I got here, when I was reading this, it looked like it was going to be 1.65 megawatts and 2.5 megawatts.
Right.
And the 250 kilowatts is out.
Correct.
So that's what you have. And are they in two different
So,
locations?
yeah, you're asking a great question. So basically, this has been sort of kicking around for about 4 years, right? And what we're doing right now, in the big picture, and then I can get back down into the weeds to your question. On the big picture side, what's basically happening is the version of the project you're seeing now was just recently approved by the planning board as the most recent amended site plan approval. It was determined by staff that we should also come back and amend the site plan, excuse me, the special permit with you all, so that way everything coalesces really well. But as far as the journey, my understanding of the journey, and I haven't been on the whole journey for the process, one of my colleagues has been more engaged, which had a conflict tonight, is that there was originally 1.65, project one, right? And then on an adjacent lot, there was going to be a 1/4 megawatt project. There was a lot line adjustment that was contemplated because you needed to have each project on a separate lot. Then it was, essentially panels got stronger and better and more efficient. And there was an ability to take that 1.65 megawatt project and basically increase it to 2.5 megawatts as far as what it generated without adding panels for actual area of disturbance.
So the footprint, the way I read it, was exactly the same as the
Exactly.
footprint on the 1.5 megawatt. Right?
Correct, but going from 1.65 to 2.5 was
Right.
in the same
But the same
limit of
footprint.
disturbance.
Yeah, okay.
And then, I don't know if as a result of that, or I don't know the history
Okay.
clearly, but the 0.25, the 1/4 megawatt little project on that smaller lot
Right.
was jettisoned, but the two lots had already, have since been consolidated anyway. And so what we're here to do for almost 4 years later, and if I've misstated something, I definitely want staff to correct me, but 4 years later is basically, there was an amended site plan for the 2.5 megawatt project, which was in the land area of disturbance of the original 1.65
Right.
project, approved last month, I think. And they recommended we come back to you all to modify the special permit one last time, so that way everything
To
fit together.
coincide with the
Right.
approved lot from the.
Right, so
I get it.
in a, maybe not, hopefully not too jocular way, this isn't actually leading to any new disturbance, any new
Right.
soil, anything.
Yeah.
That, so I hope that may have been a long-winded version.
No, that's good. That's how we read it anyway.
There's battery storage.
Yes,
Both of these.
there is battery storage in the final project, that's right, yes.
But it's only one project now, it's not going to be.
Correct, it is one 2.5 megawatt project with battery storage.
Right, period.
So The pilot has been all figured out?
Yes, that is my understanding, and it's actually a more advantageous pilot to the town because it was previously negotiated than we would find recommended under today's circumstances.
And the decommissioning bond is posted,
It has been posted, and I think there was actually one posted for the smaller project that's in process of being returned.
Okay.
I think that's everything, let me just check my notes.
What's the reason for the battery storage?
I think battery storage has become sort of a really important for grid reliability. As you know, a lot of the peaker plants in the region have been denied to be used. So in order to basically even out the level of load for the grid, you need battery storage. Under the climate protection law that was passed in 2019 by the state legislature, we have to get to 85% of our renewables, of our electricity from renewables, and because wind and particularly solar don't really work that well at night, battery storage is what allows for the evening out. So you can store the battery and then have electricity available to the grid in the evening when we have heavy loads of demand.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with that, but okay.
But the original project had battery storage, but what we have seen, or at least I think we have seen, is most of the newer projects don't come with any battery storage. So if this is an upscale portion, you're still relying on the original approval with battery storage, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That is my understanding.
Yeah, I'm confused because the way it works is the higher kilowatt dollar value is during peak hours during the day. So if you're gonna be processing solar all day long to store it in your battery system, then to sell it back into the grid at 2 cents per kilowatt, I don't even know how your project becomes profitable.
I don't know that part of the model, but my understanding is, that they sought approval for the battery storage as well, and their intention is to deploy battery storage as well.
Okay, well, I mean.
How it fits
I'm
into
sure
the
questions were
business
asked
plan and
before.
whether they're looking a little further as to new tariffs, I don't know.
Yeah, just battery storage concerns me in general.
Understood. I know that there are conditions in both your approval and the site plan approval.
Yeah, no,
So that we
obviously,
definitely.
it was approved before me coming here, I understand that.
No,
I'm not trying to reverse it, I'm just trying to understand it.
No, and I understand, and I saw the conditions of approval in the draft resolution relative to coordinating with emergency response and so forth as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No?
Nothing from the public? No? All right. Could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
I have Doug and George.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the 239 report came in, so local determination. I need a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
I need
Aye.
a roll call.
Need a roll call.
Councilmember Cantorino,
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons,
Aye.
Supervisor Betcher,
Aye.
Councilmember Florio,
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomfield.
Aye.
All right, so I need a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the amended decommissioning agreement and amended maintenance escrow agreement for stormwater facilities and related tax forms reflected in the updated values.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right,
Appreciate it.
take care. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is review and approve proposed resolution and stipulation of settlement for JP Morgan Chase, Montclair Park LLC tax cert as prepared by Robert Meta. Rob's here tonight to explain to us.
So should I grab that microphone there?
Yes.
Sure.
You want to turn it?
Yes, please.
We want to record everything you say.
That's why I don't grab it.
gotta remember that.
Good evening. This is 100 Canal Street, Chase Bank, right across the street from Quick Stop. This was a tax certiorari proceedings commenced with the tax years 2022, 2023, and they've already stated their intention to file again for 2024. Banks can be an interesting property to value because they often come with covenants as part of the deed on certain restricted uses after sale, and there's also a whole process of removing the vault. I've learned more about the valuation of banks than I was expecting to. That caused a little bit back and forth. Petitioner's counsel and I ultimately felt that the property should be valued as an office space, which in part I agree. And because that is a single, Chase Bank is the single tenant, which is paying under a triple net lease, so they do have standing to sue the town of Goshen, which they did. So we amortize the income capitalization approach is the most effective means of valuing an income-producing property for certiorari purposes, absent an arm's length transaction of recent time. Here, I would say that they are paying above market rent on their lease. They're paying $31 per square foot as opposed to Howard Hanna right next to them, which is paying $22. And that also makes sense because it's good foot traffic, good parking. It's ideal for a bank. For all these reasons, we did not reach, it took us a while to reach an agreement to the fact that this property may very well be well assessed. Nevertheless, despite all that, we have another tax year coming. We have 2 tax years in the hopper, and then the judge is about to order both parties to file, prepare, and obtain trial-ready appraisals. Those could be $4,000 or $5,000 each. It would be throwing good money after bad, so I would characterize this case as one as a business decision, where I had a candid conversation with my adversary. I said, I don't believe you have a strong case. Nevertheless, in the interest of resolving this and saving my client municipality money, I was proposing the following. We dismissed the 2022 tax year, the 2023 tax year, no refund. However, you will have a 10% reduction in your assessment moving forward, and so that would affect the town by $265 in the town taxes. Moving forward, that would be a 3-year freeze, starting in 2024, 25, and 26, and that would eliminate them from suing those tax years. I'm asking the board to approve this because it is mitigating any damages, it's giving us the certainty, it's not causing any refunds, and it is limiting the exposure that we could have should they come up with an appraisal that feels differently. Thank you.
So in business.
So it appears that the net result of this thing will probably save us, in addition to the appraisal fee, because Doug and I have settled many of these tax certs in-house, with probably $6,000 or $7,000 savings by paying out maybe, or more, I'm not sure, by paying out maybe $900. So this seems to be a case of, were you right or were you wise? And I think we need to be wise and take the deal as far as I can see.
I agree.
I think that's a fair characterization of what I'm saying. Thank you.
George, anything?
I just had it's not about this, it's a kind of an aside thing, but you have a asterisk there, it says ocean fire not included. So where do they stand, and do they just continue to collect on the 495?
Are you referring to the, forgive me, the,
This thing here?
oh, the town tax rate? That is just referring to the fact that we have not included the town tax, excuse me, the fire district tax rate into this graph before the board. But otherwise, all taxing authorities being affected by the assessment, including the fire district, would have this effect.
Okay.
You need a motion to accept.
Rick, Doug, anything? No? Yeah, can I get a motion to approve the resolution of stipulation of settlement for J.P. Motor Chase Motor Park?
So moved.
Second,
I have Bill and Rick.
all in favor?
I need
Aye.
a roll call.
Roll
Sorry.
call, resolution.
Councilmember Cantorino.
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons.
Aye.
Supervisor Petra.
Aye.
Councilmember Florio.
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomfield.
Aye.
Thank you.
And Rob, I'd like to say, you do a good job on this.
Always a pleasure. Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
All right, next item on the agenda is discuss introductory law number 5 of 2024, local law amending chapter 97 zoning of the town, the code of the town, to update provisions related to the replenishment of the applicant's escrow agreement. The planning board submitted a letter to us with some of the changes they were asking for. I think they're minor. Harry, did they already make those changes?
Yes, I did on the copy you have tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's essentially, this is just allowing us to top off the escrow agreements so that we always have enough money in there to pay consultants. We've had a couple of situations where, in the past, where projects have dropped for whatever reason and left us holding the bag and the consultants holding the bag. So, any questions, comments from the board?
No, I made them the last time, and I see they were dropped in the letter. That there's no one can give them a waiver. There's no provision to do a waiver. It's just the escrow fee is the escrow fee, because if not, the taxpayers have to pay that.
Correct.
You're right, Joe. So, no, I'm good with the way it is now.
And actually,
Yeah.
we had our first round of it even prior to this, we had instituted it this past week, and we had our first round of it, so it's been working out pretty good, where people have been very receptive to refilling when they talk.
Yeah, the enforcement was a problem at one time,
Yeah.
but now with this law being without any latitude, then I think it'll really work out. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Doug, Rick, and
No,
Bill?
I think it's just.
All right, so, motion to schedule a public hearing for May 9th, 2024 at 7 PM.
So moved.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm going to step off the dais first. George is going to carry the next one. You have it?
Yep. Next item on the agenda is number 3, schedule a joint public hearing on June 6th, 2024 at 7:30 PM with the planning board to consider introductory local law number 1 of 2024 concerning solid waste management facilities. So, need a motion to set the public hearing?
Can I just, has the planning board already set their public hearing?
They did
You had a meeting?
last Thursday, yeah,
Okay,
for June, for that date, yeah.
right, so this.
On the application, on the Hughes Energy application, it's technically two separate boards conducting two separate actions, but
Same night, so
Same
the
night.
same, all the people.
yeah,
can
it just,
come
it
listen to
keeps
both.
yeah, well, you know, the
Yeah, I just
theory
wanna make
behind
sure
it.
that
Yep.
they already set their
They
public
did,
hearing.
they have, and it's at our discretion how, when I say our, the town
Yeah.
board's discretion, whether they care to join with that or keep the meeting separate.
Separate, yeah.
And there's no ZBA action, so it's just a joint, not all three.
We also have a scheduled joint on the 94 solar, a continuation that night
Same
also.
on this, yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay, so I guess a motion would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah. You have a second? I'll second the motion. And you need a roll call vote?
You can have you can have another discussion if you want, or you go right to
Okay.
vote.
No, I just wanna
Yeah.
hear what everyone has to say, so yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good idea if they're having the public hearing, and we should have the public hearing. And, at that particular point, everybody can voice their concerns all at once without
Yeah.
having our residents come out twice and doing so I would be in favor of having a joint public hearing.
I agree.
Yes.
So you need
I'm fine.
you need a roll call vote or just?
Yeah, I would just do it as a roll call vote,
Okay.
there's no reason not to.
Councilman
Councilmember
Caterina?
Cantorino,
Aye.
Council
Lyons?
Deputy Supervisor Lyons.
Oh, yeah, Deputy Supervisor. Aye.
Councilmember Florio.
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomfield.
Aye.
Okay. Now, we did state that it would be held June 6th.
I'm sorry, Phil, I didn't.
June 6th.
Yeah,
Six.
at
7:30.
7:30, because it's the planning board's night.
Right.
Soon thereafter, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is to discuss and review introductory law number 11, 2023, local law of the town of Goshen, adopting chapter 97 zoning, section 10, subchapter C.
So we setting a public hearing, or we asked that, or what?
No, we've done all of this. The public hearing was set here. We went through it. The only thing we haven't done is adopted the law. So we held off on the adoption of the law. Any questions from the board on it?
No.
No.
All right, so then I need a motion to adopt local law number 6 of 2024, local law of the town of Goshen, amending chapter 97, section 10, subsection C. Have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call or?
Do a roll call. Councilmember Cantorino?
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Councilmember Gloria?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomfield?
Aye.
Do I have to call on Jonas?
Yeah, you can, I mean, it's,
Supervisor
yeah.
Sessions?
All right, next item on the agenda is, accept the resignation of Corey Johnson from the Ethics Board. Corey has resigned his position for a lot of personal reasons. He's done a good job for us in the past, and I want to thank him for his service. Any comments from the board members?
Yeah, I think we should accept it with a letter of appreciation for the time that he spent on
I agree with that.
Agreed.
All right, very good. So I can have a motion to accept the resignation of Corey Johnson from the
So
Ethics
moved.
Board.
it. So moved.
Second?
I have Doug and Phil.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item on the agenda is to appoint his replacement. We're going to appoint Bill Troy to the Ethics Board.
Need a motion?
Or
I'll
any
make-
comments by anybody?
I'll make the motion to appoint Bill Troy to the Ethics Board.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Review and approve March 28, 2024 minutes. For the catch. I didn't see any.
I didn't see any.
That's it. I have a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance.
I abstain.
Motion to authorize supervisor to pay accounts payable check run for April 11, 2024 in the amount of $195,626.33. Have that motion?
So moved.
Second?
I have
Got
Doug
second?
and Rick.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the 2024 budget for the new SWC Consolidated Water District. Questions on it?
I don't have any.
No, I don't
Do I have a motion?
So moved. I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve the 2024 year-to-date budget transfers as of March 29, 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Privilege of the floor. Any residents would like to come up, speak on any topics on their mind, would like to talk to us? The floor is open.
Hold on 1 second, Chris. She just stood up right
That's
there.
okay.
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
That's fine.
You go first.
Yeah.
Do you want me, can you use the mic, Chris?
Do you need me to?
Only so they can hear it on TV.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good evening, my name is Chris Healy, Town of Goshen resident, proud taxpayer. I have two issues tonight, and the first is something that just occurred to me. Mr. Florio, you work for TAM Enterprises. In everything that I've heard about used energy, TAM Enterprises is intertwined. They're going to be hauling their waste, they're going to be bringing things in, bringing things out at least. As Mr. Betro, Town Supervisor Betro, has recused himself to votes when it comes to the law of reopening waste management facilities in the town, I would ask that you recuse yourself as well, as you are directly conflicted, right? You work for a company that is absolutely going to benefit heavily from this vote. What's right is right.
I'll talk to my attorney about that.
Okay, very good. The other thing that I had was water. Sorry I've been away, but I'm back. I have been watching the meetings on TV, on YouTube. We're gonna be selling water, or that was the vote. And I was confused. We talked about selling water from wells, we talked about selling water from the pipeline. My question, I guess, really is do we have a buyer for the water? As long as I can remember, we've never had to sell water to anyone. Water is a valuable resource in the town. Mr. Bloomfield, I do believe, for years and years as town supervisor, did anybody come to you want to buy water?
No, they did not, and but I think that what we're talking about is water from the pipeline from Middletown, which is potable water.
Okay, potable water.
In the fact,
And Christian,
we need it.
Okay, and do we have a customer for it? Because there's manpower involved in this. I got lawyers drawing up contracts, they're gonna have to draw up laws. I've got surveyors that are gonna need to hand some paperwork to the lawyer eventually. Somebody's gotta test the water. None of this is free. This is all taxpayer dollar, and you don't have a customer. So since when is the town in the business of gambling with tax dollars on what may or may not be needed?
well, the sale of the water is to a district that we're about to form, a commercial district on the 17 corridor. So there is funding for it. Funding comes from the businesses that are gonna be connecting to that, the water and the sewer. And.
Well, then there's the rub, I guess, is for me, is that you're talking about expanding the water district so that we can expand
Creating a
more
water
building.
Creating a water district.
Creating a water district so we can expand more building that, on a corridor that is already crowded, we don't have the roadway infrastructure. It's a state road. I know that's not the town's, ability to just make that bigger. A little bit cart before the horse. And again, you're using my taxpayer dollars to get that water out there. And
Are you in a water and sewer district?
me personally, no.
Then we're not using your tax dollars.
Not at all.
Water and sewer is only paid by the district.
So we are going to, I really, that's opening my eyes. I see what we're trying to do now. We're trying to lure in more businesses, bigger businesses. I'm just gonna have to keep that in mind. That's,
I don't know if that's an accurate statement. I mean, a lot of the businesses exist there, so along that corridor.
And they need
well,
sewer.
if I'm right, and I'm looking at, let's just take a look at Use Energy. Use Energy uses a vast amount of water. That's part of their deal. They use steam, they need water. So Use Energy doesn't get to come in unless they have water. So we are bending over, we are spot zoning, not spot zoning, but we are actually creating a water district for one company.
You realize they can drill wells also. It's not, they're not depending on our water.
But Chris, where do you come up with the data that they use a vast amount of water?
Well, that's their thing. They use steam, right? They use water.
Have you looked it up online, how much water they use?
I did.
And what does it say?
It's a lot more water than a house uses. It's a lot more water than a neighborhood uses. It's a commercial. And by the way, we're just talking about their 2-year experiment, and it is experimental. Then, if it's commercially viable, they're talking about a huge building, and we're talking about a lot more water. I'm just looking to the future, and if my taxpayers don't pay for it, then my concern will be the traffic, etc., and that's down the road. Thanks for clearing that up. Again, Mr. Florio, look forward to you speaking to your lawyer about the conflict.
Certainly.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
If I could just
Sure.
say something. I don't know where you have the data that Use Energy has already cut a deal with TAM. I mean, as far as I know, there's no deal been cut in place. I mean, the only thing I heard of when a presentation was made by Mark Millspar at the planning board meeting, he said it would be likely, since TAM already removes the leachate from the county, that they would be a viable candidate to get that job.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't born yesterday. I know how this goes. You know it. You know they're going to use them. They're already talking about them. They're already talking about
I
them.
know, but I can't base anything that's not fact. It has to be fact.
Okay, well, when it comes through and it becomes fact, I guess we're all going to shrug our shoulders and make believe I didn't say this tonight.
No, listen, I respect your position. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you at all.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Susan?
Thank you. I came here tonight because I saw that
Can
you
you
were...
just state your name?
Susan Shapiro, 3301 Route 207. I came here because I saw that you were considering this local law amending the replenishment of escrow funds, applicant escrow funds. And I have had an issue with that. First of all, I'd like to know how we can see that law that you're considering, the draft of that. Because it wasn't really, I thought you were going to discuss it, and it wasn't really discussed tonight, so how...
Is it online, Mary?
I'll put it online. I
Put it
didn't
online.
No,
know.
it's not, yes. And and since this issue has come up, I am once again asking the town for a full accounting and a refund of my escrow funds, Timber Trails escrow funds, as the contract vendee for the Bear Realty petition, which was denied, and the town still holds that money. My previous requests, both to you as the past supervisor and to you as the current supervisor, have gone unanswered. This week, I was once again told by the town clerk to write the town. I've already done that twice, 3 times. So instead, I've come in here tonight to ask you in person to please resolve this matter. I deserve my escrow money back. I deserve an accounting. It's improper. It's years now. I've been waiting for it. Some of you may have not been there, some of you were, when all this went down. So I've provided the attached correspondence and the maps in order to help you understand the history of the issue better. I made it clear at that time, and I'm making it clear tonight, Timber Trail will object strongly to any expenditures in the accounting which have been made in connection with the preparation and presentation of false and misleading maps by the then town attorney and the building inspector, the then building inspector. This improperly biased the town board against the petition, and it was false, misleading information. So I ask that you give me this accounting and do not charge me for anything that Rick Golden or Miss Kelly Naughton did with regard to this application. Thank you very much.
Susan, can I ask a question? You were not given any information from the building department or
Never.
escrow at all? Never got one? But
Never,
you,
never.
But you kept replenishing it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking a question, that's all.
You have quite a bit of my money, and I'd like to get it back.
Sure.
Okay, here's a copy.
I have to say,
this with you.
I have to say, if I miss something from you, I respond to everybody. I don't recall seeing anything from you.
I sent this to you on, it was when you first came into the office.
Okay.
Okay, it was right at the beginning, so it was
You have my
124,
word tonight.
22.
First thing tomorrow morning, I will look at this.
Okay, and I really, the issue was that the maps were false, and you all voted on them, they were false maps. I don't know if you ordered them, but those maps were false, and I've attached them to this application. Okay, to this request, I should say. Thank you, I appreciate your help.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Take a
I
look
want
at
to
it.
get this resolved. Thank you.
Bob?
Separating. Just CC me on it. If you resend it to him, just CC me.
Let me see if I can receive this. I'll send that out. And sign my suits.
Yeah.
Too much pickleball, huh?
Excuse me?
Too much pickleball, huh?
I haven't played in 18 months.
Okay.
Not enough, maybe. I want to ask a few questions about the ambulance. I saw Chester recently had a meeting with the assemblyman. I guess they're in the same spot as us, except they don't have an ambulance service right now.
Correct.
I'm sure you will.
And I see that you gave them gave the ambulance 60,000. That was part of money we had left over from COVID finance.
It was a one-time, yes.
Yeah. What was, we also gave them a donation, 60,000 previous.
Well,
So the-
they get a yearly stipend.
That's
This
what I
was an
mean.
additional,
Yeah.
this was additional one time
Right.
for all the additional work that they did when they were in harm's way during COVID.
Right. Now, I thought that at that time, we were going to get the village to kick in because you were $250 short, like 3 months, 4 months ago.
Well, I guess the discussion is still ongoing on whether we're going to be able to form a ambulance district. It's, some things have come up that are making their way through the course, and we're waiting for Brian Moore, the assemblyman, to come in and give us the presentation. I would normally ask George to comment, but I really don't want him to comment, but that's where we are right now.
Well, I mean, he's been in twice. And
Right, but they had to create the map, so we needed a map plan, which they did. They worked on with with our engineer to get the map plan, and then there's some issues that have arisen that are being taken care of right now that have to be resolved prior to us even taking a vote on it.
Now, is this taking a vote on a separate tax district? I thought that was not even, 4 months ago, that was, oh, we'll just see.
Correct, that's what we're doing, we're investigating whether we're gonna do that. It needs a vote and everything, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. We were always talking about creating some type of district, but we needed to know what the dollar amount was gonna be for the residents, and set the public hearing up so the residents come and speak on behalf on what the cost was gonna be per $1,000.
Well, I mean, if we don't ask the village what they want extra, they wanna kick in, and Hamptonburg was gonna kick in too.
My understanding is if we form a district, it's just us in the village, Hamptonburg would be out.
So we're not gonna ask them for any money this year.
Well, they give us $2,500, I think they give George $2,500, I shouldn't check. George is not involved in Go Back.
No.
But they give Go Back, Goshen EMS
You're not
$2,500.
I resigned from Go Back,
Okay.
Goshen
Yeah.
EMS.
Goshen, excuse me.
Yeah, it was $2,500, and
Yeah.
I think we cover 40% of Hamptonburg, is that the right?
That's about right, about 40%, right?
We cover, the portion that we covered is the largest financial portion that Hamptonburg has. The other two entities would love to have that because we have the nursing home up there. That's the majority of the calls and the majority of the revenue. So it's a tight, we have to walk a tightrope on this as much as I would never have Goshen residents, if we form a district, pay for another town. There's a financial understanding that we have to have on how much money that town generates for Goshen units.
So as it appears to me now, we're going strongly towards a new tax district.
We are at a complete standstill right now.
Okay, now that that's cleared up. I see you gave 60,000 to Goshen Parks and Rec.
We gave 60,000 to Goshen, we gave 5,000 for benches to Goshen Park and Rec.
And wasn't there 60,000 for the lights?
We didn't give anything to the lights.
Oh, I thought on YouTube it said that they had 175 and you were gonna give them 60.
No, they came in and asked us for, we haven't decided what and if we're gonna do. We're waiting for, we need to find out whether we're gonna need to go out to bid on this, and that's what Sean's working on right now, whether we have to create an RFP for it. But the money is there if we decide to give it to them. That's up to this board though.
Well, that should be, we should be responsible for half if you're gonna go to Parks and Rec.
Half of what? The half of the 60?
Parks and Rec should be split 50-50.
With the village.
With the village, correct.
So we should be responsible for 30.
And we're working on that.
Now, excuse me, there was a problem with paying prevailing wage
On what? On this?
on the lights.
There wasn't a problem. We asked if the rate was the prevailing wage rate. They haven't gotten back to us yet.
Seemed to me that he said that the deal is off if they have to pay prevailing wage.
We're waiting for them to get back to us. We have two other potential bidders that are bidding on it as prevailing wage.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, unbeknownst to me, anything that happens in a town facility, regardless of whether we fund it or not, has to be done under a prevailing wage scenario.
All right.
We made them aware of that.
oh, okay. But if you go back and you watch the YouTube, he said, we can't pay the prevailing wage, it's 40% higher.
I think he made that statement, but I don't know if that's an accurate
Oh,
statement.
okay.
Right.
But that's where I'm
He did say
getting
it.
it from.
You're
Okay.
correct, he did say it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, good enough. That's all I wanted.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So,
I just have a quick question, and I keep bringing this up all the time. Are we going to ever update our master plan? Has there been discussion about updating the plan? So I'm really worried about our infrastructure. I think we really need to look at the building going on. I think we need to look at the traffic increase, fire, you know, everything that's involved, and I really wanted to know if you were gonna, maybe this year, update it or think about it.
I can tell you where we stand as of today. I mean, with the request went in today, Cat Collet is working on the comprehensive plan book for the 6 people that we're going to form a committee on to look at it. We along with our engineer, and it's gonna be 3 members, 1 from the planning board, 1 from the zoning board, and 1 from this town board will sit on it, and then 3 members of the public, anybody from the public that wants to come and sit in on it. We'll try to minimize the amount of time spent on it, because Sean Hopkins, our engineer, doesn't believe it requires a full-blown comprehensive review. He thinks there are things in there that we need to look at, for sure, and that's what we'll look at and identify. We're not gonna go out and spend town taxpayer money on another comprehensive plan. It's about $100,000 to get it done. And I think this board, or the people that were on this board when it was done in 2004, did a really good job, and a good company put it together. So that's Sean's position on it, so that's what we're doing. But so the answer to your question is yes, we're beginning the process.
I have already volunteered to do that, and I've been in discussions with our building inspector and also our engineer, and what my thought would be is to pick the most obvious items that need attention and start with those and work our way down. Because I was here when we did the original master plan in 2004. So to answer your question, yes, we are really vigorously going on.
I was part of that in 2004, yes.
If you're volunteering.
I'd love to volunteer.
Yeah.
Just give me a call.
I've been there for several years.
Yeah.
When can you start?
Now.
Today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
I could be the Bob Vinster.
Yeah.
It'll be like old time.
We're trying to minimize the amount of time, so we're not spending a lot of time on it. You know, we'll try to, maybe an hour or 2 every week. I know a lot of people come to all the board meetings, which is great. I think it's wonderful. So I think it's important. I agree with you. I think it's important for, we should be looking at it. The last time it was looked at was during Labor Day, I believe. Some adjustments were made, but it wasn't a full review. So it's time.
Yeah.
And you'll have public comment during that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
There you
Yeah,
go.
no problem. Yes, Bob?
Joe, can I just, this past week, there was a big discussion on social media about the condition of 17M and 17 in the median. Now that the snow is gone, you can see, from the dump back to town, it's disgusting. And then I had to go to Chester, and I looked, going down 17, it's unbelievable in the median. I've never seen it this filthy.
845-325-1111. Give them a call. It's the state roads. There's nothing we
I
can blame.
understand that, but I know you guys have to talk to the county. It takes a village to.
It's not even the county, it's the state.
I
So
know,
what we
but
do
if
is
everybody comes to the
contact,
state,
we
every time
contact,
they say that-
we contact Senator Skoufis. As you can see, they did do patchwork on 208 in the last couple of days, so that they're like everybody else. They have a limited amount of money, and they try to allocate it to the most needed areas. The roads are horrendous in New York State. There's not
No,
much
I'm talking about the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, garbage.
In the median.
Yeah, well, again, it's not us unless we're gonna have our Earth Day, so I guess we'll have to,
Yeah, I don't
Target
think there'll be
those
too
roads.
many people volunteering to stand out on 17. Anybody that's ever stood on a roadway
yeah.
with trucks going by at 60 miles an hour, it's not a pleasant feeling.
I was driving out on Sour Wells Trail. Out of Goshen, we got past where the Horseman Sulky is, and there's a gentleman out there, all yellow, with 2 garbage bags, picking up. I had to stop to ask the question. He said, I live 2 blocks down here, and I just got tired of the way it looked at, and tired of complaining, and I just came out here and started doing it myself. He had 3 garbage bags in the back of his truck. Unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. It's the town residents that have to get sick and tired enough of it to get it done on the state and county roads.
But
The full disclaimer, he's not saying that town residents should go out of the median. I gotta make sure I do my job here, right?
But 17M is just despicable, And the fact is, it used to be that they would have prisoners go out and do it. But I bet you, within a half a mile, you probably got 300 bags worth of garbage out there to put in bags.
So
You know, there's probably 20 different solutions. Charging the truckers an extra $5. You could pay people to go out there.
So on 17 south of Goshen heading towards Chester, I know Brian Moore was out there with the Young Republicans 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they picked up, I want to say 20 bags of garbage from,
What was that, quarter mile?
from the beginning of the town on 17 to Duck Farm Road, 20 bags of garbage. And then we picked them up on Monday and disposed of them for them. So yeah, it's people just,
Yeah, well, I really think it's the trucks.
It's the trucks, I think it's
People-
blowing out of,
Yeah.
truly, I stopped.
People
the
add
truck.
to it, but I don't think that people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
A little bit
slobs in this
everything,
world,
yeah.
but I don't think there's that many that, it's both sides of the road and the median, what I saw in the median, never seen it like
Yeah.
that. At its worst, I've never seen.
yeah.
So, anytime you talk to any of these guys, they can kick it upstairs too.
Mhm. Anyone else like to speak?
Can I clarify something?
Clarify. Floor is yours.
I just, you'd asked before, I mentioned Mr. Florio and TAM Enterprises. On the website, Town Goshen website, Goshen Planning Board, Special Use Permit Application, Attachment 1C, Page 2, Subparagraph 5. I'm paraphrasing, water recovered from the process will be removed by TAM Enterprises. It says it in black and white.
I'll take a look at it.
Thank you. No disrespect, I appreciate you being here. You guys, I don't want this job, but it's a really bad look at the end of the day if you were not to recuse yourself. Just keep it straight. Take a look at it. Thank you.
Does anybody else like to speak on any other topics?
Hi, Jason Alfredo. Yesterday you talked about the comprehensive plan. Are you be doing any moratoriums with it?
That's what we just spoke to Priscilla about, the comprehensive plan. So yes,
The moratoriums?
as I explained in the meeting, I'm not really sure what I can have a moratorium on. We haven't had any really building, any warehouses built on 17. We have one approved that hasn't been built. But the moratorium that we spoke about is in this GIS study that we'd like to begin. But it's not guaranteed that a moratorium will follow that. It's one of the discussions during the GEIS. We were supposed to have a meeting today, it got postponed until May 9th.
There's 4 applications for the warehouses?
There is, 1, 2, I know of 3.
I got 3 off the top of my head.
One's already been approved, and I think there are 3 additional.
So, I mean, that would be, yeah, that'd be 4, that would be 4, I guess. total.
Some of the changes for the comprehensive plan will be for warehouses, most likely, right?
The comprehensive plan looks at what we want Goshen to look like, and then the zoning gets applied to what the comprehensive plan looks like.
Districts.
It's not per se, you don't go in and say, we're gonna abandon the ability to build any warehouses. That's not what the comprehensive plan is. It looks at the overall look of Goshen, and what we want Goshen to look like, and then we conform the zoning to that look.
Right, and then you might make a zoning law that the warehouse has to be 500 feet from a residence, correct?
I couldn't tell you what's gonna come about it. In fact, I'm not even sitting on that comprehensive board, Phyllis, so.
Yeah, it wouldn't identify something by like a title or a warehouse. It would be in this area, you gotta be this far from, X, Y, and Z, or this.
It's a general rule for
Well,
any property?
Yeah, essentially zoning, that's why you have a residential zone and then, keep commercial and industrial separate and apart from it. But you don't identify it per se as a warehouse, it's that district of where.
But I think your question is, not every zone would have the same setback. You could say in a commercial industrial zone, the setback from the lot line is 500 feet. In a residential, it's 50 feet.
Agricultural, in a different zones.
So yes, I think that was your question, if I'm in.
How long does a comprehensive plan take, based on past experience?
I would think we'd be in the process for probably 6 months. That would be a reasonable. If it's not going out for a full study, then I think based on the manpower and resources, probably 6 months would be that was initially what was targeted, but it could spawn into, a whole you don't wanna get paralysis by analysis. At some point, you wanna pull the trigger on what you're trying to plan, but, we don't know what we'll uncover during it also, so. It may require other work.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Are you volunteering?
All right, can I have a motion to close the town board meeting of April 11th?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.